What's up, everybody? This is Raw Life with my TCC challenge run for the Terrible Mechanical Tentacles event. I brought Squall, Celes, and Paladin Cecil. And I've got the speed set up to 2 times. Nobody wants to hear me talk for 26 minutes. And you probably don't want to watch another run of 26 minutes. This event is real tough as far as turn count at 80 and all the off-turn damage from Celes. So the original video was like 26 minutes long. We're going to do double speed here. Try to run you through the basic idea of the team. I'm not really going to do a play-by-play every single move I make, but the general idea here is that these bosses' mechanics are really annoying. At 79% and 49%, these guys will frame their turns as well as target the highest HP character for a murder shot. If it hits you, you just get fucked, absolutely fucked. So the big name of the game here is mainly either evade or last stand characters. As part of the TCC challenge, Aerith and Yshtola, as well as Serah, they're all banned. So I couldn't use Aerith or Yshtola for the last stand mechanics, but I brought Celes with last stand, and then I brought Paladin Pecil with a cater call. And the way we're going to get around the murder shot here coming up at the 79%, we're going to let Celes eat the first one. And then she has last stand, so she'll take the shot, and then it will change targets to the second highest HP. And that'll be Paladin Cecil, and he will have the cater call. Keep in mind, the cater call is only 70%, I believe. And so could potentially tank the run here. Luckily, it's going to work. As you see, they just popped their orb up, 25 turns on the orb. The orb isn't too terribly difficult to deal with as long as you have a big-time healer. I was using Paladin Cecil, and I also brought a team friend Paladin Cecil as well, so that I wouldn't get into a situation with only 4 LD uses of running out of LD uses for the orb. Here he is going to use the triple slip from Cater Call. That's the 70% evade. And the idea, there it is. She last stands it, and then he evades it. So we got past the first murder shot, luckily. And so now we'll try to get as much damage in here as possible. And at 49%, they will again frame their turns and try to just murder you. Highest HP character first. The second time we're going to handle it even easier because we are going to use Celes Call, which is going to be Edge, and that's an actual 100% evasion, I believe. So she will throw on the Edge Call, and both of them should attack her with the highest HP, and they'll miss, and we'll get out of it that way. Basic strategy of this fight is try to keep them broken as much as possible, like every fight. Paladin Cecil helps here with his defense up, and his healing, burst healing, takes care of the orb as well. Celes, I like to keep her LD debuff on both of them, obviously. They also become debuff immune and cleanse their debuffs at those thresholds we talked about, which are 79 and 49. So they can be very difficult to deal with at that point because as long as their turns are framed, you can't debuff them. And I had a little Chelsea Man City action up there on top. Ignore that. Where are we at here? 60%. So once they get down to 49, we're going to have to make sure that we pull up Celes's call, which is Edge, so she can tank both hits, dodge both hits. By the way, Squall here, he just absolutely nukes these guys. They've got high defense, but what do we have here? He can chew these guys up pretty much, especially with Jack's debuff, which I'll throw on here at the end after they cleanse for the final time at 49%, and it'll stay on the rest of the fight, and he will just go to work. The Paladin Cecil friend here is also incredibly important because what he's going to do is come in for my Paladin Cecil and provide that LD, which can shoot the orbs up, I think like maybe 15 turns, something like that, something crazy. Here we go. Here's one of my LDs. So 18 turns and 20 turns. So they get to the targeting high vitality message here. That means they're going to target the highest HP. That'll be Celes. So this time is the easier time. Edge call, all we need. Squall. He says, get fucked, get absolutely fucked. Just tearing these guys up. We love Squall. DPS, always. What else are we doing here? There's an EX from Squall. And the follow-up, of course. You may have noticed I did use his LD early on in the fight. He has like 16 turns of the buff, and it can go up to 3 stacks. And so in this case, with the turn count and knowing the fight, because I've already ran it multiple times, I wanted to get that LD buff up, the second stack at least up. As you can see, he's now got the full 3 stacks, but I knew he wasn't going to run out. Here I actually realized that my phone was running slow because I went to low power mode, so I had to swap out a little bit and do my low power mode off so you guys could see what I'm doing and it's not freezing every second. And like I said in my intro video, there's misplays here. Hopefully it's harder for you to see them because it is in double speed. But anything you see that I messed up on, please let me know. I'm always looking to get better. This run went really smoothly overall, but obviously there's some misplays. The orb here gets down pretty low, and I don't want them to move again, so I'm going to pop my summon, and I believe I'm going to bring in Paladin Cecil, my friend Paladin Cecil, to take care of that orb multiple times during his 5-turn visit. Yeah, here comes the friend Paladin Cecil. This TCC challenge is pretty tough this time just because of how restrictive the orb is. In order to deal with this orb, you have to do a huge heal. I don't know all the characters that can do it, but I believe it's Yshtola, Aerith, Pecil, I think Celes can do it, Rem with a Sylph summon, and Realm with a Sylph summon, rather, and Rem, I believe, also can do it. But there may be more, but it's just really tough to deal with this orb. I even brought the Paladin Cecil friend because the orb is so scary if you only have 4 uses of that LD. We're getting pretty down here into the nitty-gritty already. Thank God for double speed. The rest of the fight is pretty simple, kind of like the early stages of the fight, where they'll be targeting Celes most of the time, and as long as she keeps that buff up, she will just absorb the brave hits from the steam. The only kind of danger is here when they do a multi-slash, which can hurt you pretty good, but I have healing in the team, chip healing from Celes, as well as Paladin Cecil healing, so we're not worried about that too much. They do have a very dangerous move, Steam Burst Plus. There it is. If they go back to back with that, it's real dangerous. They can, even with Cecil and his buffs up and everything, it still can get pretty hairy there. So you got to be careful when they're targeting all. That's the move they're going to do when they're targeting all. So let's see where we're at, 51 turns. Steam Burst Plus again. Hate that move. Celes really neuters most of their mechanics offensively, as long as you bring some form of evade or last stand to deal with the 2 big thresholds where they do their murder stabs. It's not going to be, they're not going to be threatening you most of the time unless they do that all steam burst plus. And like I said earlier, Squall just this whole fight is doing fat damage, just shredding these guys. Pecil with his auras was super helpful. And Celes off-turn damage, little chip healing, and the defensive thing she brings by absorbing their brave hits. This team's got to be the easiest team comp, I'm not going to lie, for the TCC challenge. But, we take these every time. Also, sorry if I'm terrible with the commentary. This is my first live commentary video. So, we'll work on it. We'll get better. But these guys are just about dead. Keep in mind, once you kill one of them, the other will actually clear their debuffs. They'll cleanse and get really angry. And it actually almost bites me here because what happens is with that Jack debuff gone and all the other debuffs gone, even Squall is not hitting very hard. So it took me a couple extra shots. Also, you may be wondering why I don't burst. Part of the TCC challenge here is also no burst phase. You can use a burst move with your friend unit, but you can't go into burst phase with your burst unit. So Paladin Cecil and Squall both left their bursts unused in this run. We're getting down to the final shots here. I was kind of getting a little nervous because the turn count is fine. 63 is good. But once I kill one of them, I know the other one's going to cleanse his debuffs. Celes hitting like a truck for herself. And then we're going to finish this guy. The other guy gets angry. And there he goes. He's dead. Steam further building. Hit me with a flame ball. We take those. Celes eats it, no problem. And now Squall, even with the follow-up, doesn't finish him. So I was getting a little nervous, but this follow-up should do it. That's it. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Absolutely bang that follow button, folks. We'll see you next time. Raw Life out.